Hi everybody, welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm your host, Stephanie Haney, and we did it. We made it through the week. It is Friday. Happy Friday to you. I hope you're looking ahead at a great weekend. And we also made it through October. Can you believe that it is November 1st today? So if you participate in Movember, which is the movement where men grow out their facial hair throughout the month of November to raise awareness about men's health issues like testicular and prostate cancer, today's the day to put your razors away. All right, today we're going to be tackling the trending topics, top headlines, and a preview of what we have coming up for you in the 6 p.m. What Matters Most, 7 p.m. Front Row, and 11 p.m. What's Next broadcast. First, we're going to take a look at when SiriusXM starts playing Christmas music. That's trending on our website right now. I've got that information for you. And then we'll have Brandon Simmons come in to give us a breakdown on the streaming wars, what's new with AppleTV Plus, the streaming service. We're going to take a look at daylight savings time, which is something that's coming up this weekend. Brandon will also have an important update for us about people who use iPhone 5 and lower. And then we're going to take a look at what Cuyahoga County is planning to do with its Global Center for Health Innovation. Investigative reporter Mark Namick will join us to give us the update on that, which his story will run in the 6 p.m. broadcast today. And then finally, we're going to give you a look ahead at the weekend guide, which is up on our website, wkyc.com right now. All right, let's take a look at what's going on with holiday music. People wasted no time getting into the holiday spirit. We have that story up on wkyc.com right now. We will drop that link for you in the live stream comments so you can check that story out. SiriusXM started playing 24/7 Christmas music on multiple radio stations this morning, November 1st. The holidays are going to come fast and furious, and they want to make sure that you've got theme music to get you through now to the end of the holiday season. A couple of the channels that they have up right now are the Holly channel. That's channel 65 on SiriusXM. They've also got Holiday Traditions up on channel 73. And their Hallmark Channel radio is up on channel 70. This is described as the songs you love, brought to you by your favorite Hallmark Channel stars like Candace Cameron Bure, who will share their own favorite carols, traditions, and take you behind the scenes of their new movies. So if you need a little help getting into the Christmas spirit, or if you're already in the holiday spirit, you can tune into those SiriusXM channels. We also have a full breakdown in the site on wkyc.com, and you can check out that link in order to do that. All right, now Brandon Simmons is going to join us, and he's going to tell us about what's going on in streaming, what's new in streaming. There's so many different services out there. Brandon's going to break it down for us. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, what's happening? There are a lot of different services out there, of course, and the latest one to launch, of course, today, Apple TV Plus. It launched today. $4.99 a month is what it's going to cost you, but if you just purchased a device recently, you get a year of that service for free, so that's something you don't have to worry about. Pretty cool.
Okay.
Now, the early reviews are in. Let me tell you, they're not good.
Really?
To be quite honest, they're not good.
I'm surprised.
You guys know I'm a big Apple fan, but this one, they're going with all original content, and that's the hard part.
All original content.
All original. So you gotta be the one to make all that stuff, right? So right now there's only like 9 titles in the library. One of them is the morning show. That one's going to be really popular. I think that's the biggest one that has some real star power to it. So a lot of people tuning in for that. But again, at $4.99, it's tough. I'm going to tell you why. Disney Plus comes out in a few weeks, November 12th actually. So not even a few weeks. And in that one, you get the entire Disney library. You get Marvel. You get Pixar. You get Star Wars. You get all of this content, just $2 more a month, $6.99.
Oh, wow.
Right? So it's kind of hard for Apple to launch a product like this at $4.99 and get people to buy in. But, of course, we'll have to see what happens. If you want to check it out, you do get a 7-day trial. If you just go in the app now, you open the TV app, go in there and sign up. You can get 7 days for free. You can probably watch all of the content in 7 days, to be quite honest.
I was just going to say, I wonder if I can get the 7-day trial, watch all of the morning show, because I am really excited about that show coming out, and then save my $4.99 a month for some other app that I'll never use.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are doing. So, I mean, it's tough to beat Disney. I mean, Disney's been doing this for so long, so much content already out there. I mean, they're going to be a tough one to compete with. Now, the good news is if you're a Verizon customer, which a lot of us are, you actually get a year free of Disney Plus, too, that they just said is going to come out.
Really?
So, yeah, I know.
I'm a Verizon customer.
So there you go. So you'll get all of that Disney, Pixar content, all of that stuff ready to go. So for you, I think you're in good shape. Like I said, try the trial, $4.99. After that, don't pay the $4.99. That's what they're saying. I'm not saying that. I haven't watched anything, so Don't blame me on that, Apple.
I'm here for a bargain. I mean, I'm going to get my free 7 days, and then we'll see after that,
I think we all are, and that's the hard thing. I mean, here, I got my list here. So coming up in spring, Apple's not the only one that's going to launch products, right? Everybody wants to get into this streaming thing. So we got HBO Max. They're coming in May of 2020. That's the premium service, just like HBO, so it's $14.99. I don't know. That's a little bit high for my blood.
That is pretty high.
But you got ESPN Plus for the sports fanatics. That's only $4.99. Everybody loves a good 30 for 30. And then NBC is launching their own app. So for their own content, and that's going to come out in spring. Now, there's been talk today on CNBC. They're talking about whether to charge for it or make it free and kind of make it ad-supported. So pricing's still up in the air on that, but that'll come spring, and it comes in time for the Olympics, too. So a lot of people will get a lot more Olympics content for July if they get that Peacock app, too. That's what it's called, Peacock. So if you want to look out for that come this spring, too.
Okay, we'll definitely be taking a look at that here at 3 News because we are an NBC station.
Of course, yeah. So we gotta let you know about that one. But there's so many out there, of course. You got Hulu. You got the regular live TV streaming platforms. You got Amazon Prime Video. And, of course, Netflix. Cannot forget Netflix. I mean, they got like 150 million users already. So
right, they're the OGs in the streaming
Apple's
game.
got some catching up to do. Let's just put it that way. And hopefully they build that content library.
Okay, well, we'll be on the lookout for that. Thank you for that update, Brandon. You also have important information for people who have iPhone 5s and lower. What's happening for them this weekend?
iPhone 5, big weekend. I think the date is November 3rd. So you got 2 days. You have to update your phone. You have to move to at least version 10.3.4. And the reason is there's an issue with the GPS where it can't figure out what time it is after that date. That's why that date is so important.
Okay.
And time is important in your device for it to function normally. I mean, you can't use the internet if the time isn't right because certain websites rely on it. You can't use email. You can't use GPS. Basically your phone's almost useless. I mean, you got all these things that you can't use if the time doesn't work right. So make sure you update your phone before November 3rd. I would just go in and do it right now, or else that iPhone 5, again, will become pretty much useless. Apple specifically says no App Store, no iCloud, email, web, or other services. So kind of a big deal.
That's the whole phone, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So make sure you get that stuff done.
Okay. Thank you, Brandon. We appreciate that.
Sure.
We will catch your story in the 6 p.m. What Matters Most broadcast.
Of course. And all the info is also on the website. I know you're going to get to that.
Yes.
Thanks.
We already have that up on WKYC.com. And you can also stream the What Matters Most broadcast on WKYC.com and catch that over the air on Channel 3. Another important thing to remember this weekend is daylight savings time comes to an end. Now, this will happen between Saturday night and Sunday morning. And we have a poll up on WKYC.com/vote now about what you think about this. If you think we should keep the time change going or we should end the time change. Keep voting on that. Let us know what you think. I will tell you, so far right now, most of you are saying that we should just get rid of the time change and just have the same time all year round. Either way, this weekend it goes in our favor. You're going to get an extra hour of sleep. At 2 a.m. on Sunday morning, you're going to turn your clock back, so you're going to have experienced that hour again. Get yourself an extra hour of sleep. All right. Investigative reporter Mark Namick is joining us now. He's going to tell us what's going on with that MedMart.
All right, despite what you said earlier about making it to Friday, news never sleeps, so I'm happy to have some to report. I've been talking about this for years. This big blocky building, it's downtown across from City Hall, known as the Global Center for Innovation. I think you got that right. I will always call it the Medical Mart. That's what it was originally planned to be, and it's much easier to say. But there's some changes going on. It looks like the county is maybe going to finally just give it up and pivot and try to use that space for maybe expanding the convention center.
Okay.
Exhibit space, meeting rooms. The county claims that we're growing business to the point that, we could use the space. And the Medical Mart has never been able to, be fully utilized as this showroom for high-tech, innovation and space. And I think maybe it's time they got to move on because it's just been underwhelming. It's never lived up to the hype. That's a $460 million project, the convention center and the global center, Medical Mart, whatever you want to call it.
That's a lot of space to not be being fully utilized.
Well, there's the upper floors are right now where these medical companies are kept or housed. The lower spaces have been used now for things like reception halls for the RNC, All-Star Game. When the comic book festivals come or conventions, they use some of the space. But now they're thinking maybe we just take the whole thing. They're not ready to commit. They're going to say, we're going to study it first, but really what that means is they want to have some data that supports their idea of doing it. So that we'll talk a little bit about it tonight. You're going to see a little bit of the space. We've dug out some of that old footage of all the elected officials bragging about it and showing it under construction. It is got a great feel in the building. It's real open. There's a lot of light in there. I've been up to the upper floors in the past, but they lost one of their biggest tenants, announced earlier this summer they're leaving. Today's announcement really is pushed by the fact that this company called BioEnterprise, they're a nonprofit that looks at kind of spurring innovation in biomedical industry, and they also have the task of marketing and trying to fill the building. They announced today that at the end of their contract, which ends at the end of the year, they're not interested in staying in the building or continuing. So the county's kind of trying to get out in front of that, saying, all right, we got a new plan.
Okay. So what does this mean for medical innovation in Northeast Ohio? Should we be concerned about that?
No, because it wasn't really the driving force at all now. I mean, the driving force is always and continues to be the Cleveland Clinic and its spin-offs. A lot of small enterprise groups, even BioEnterprise, which originally was housed at University Circle and will be heading back there. Obviously, we have UH, Metro, lots of the industry is not at all impacted. And I think that's what they're basically admitting now. It's like, we don't need this fancy building title to continue that, but we could use the convention space. And
we could potentially, do you think this would attract more people to have conventions here in Cleveland?
That's what they're saying. But it's important to note that no one wanted to talk on camera today.
Okay.
It's basically been some dueling press releases, which doesn't give us the opportunity to really get at how much data do they have, what are they seeing, where are we going. But we'll follow it, and the rest of the day I think I'll think about whether I should shave or not for the rest of the month. I think I'm probably better off shaving. Christmas music, no. Daylight savings time, it just means I have to get the kids up earlier.
Oh, that's
or later, because they're going to probably still wake up.
Right. They're gonna enjoy that extra hour of sleep, but it's going to feel earlier, maybe for you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mark. We will have more on that from you in the 6 p.m. What Matters Most broadcast. We appreciate that. And again, we have the link to Mark's story up on WKYC.com right now. That's in the comments here if you want to check that out right now. Moving towards the weekend, looking ahead, there are plenty of things to keep you busy here in Northeast Ohio. I put together the weekend guide for you earlier today. We had that on the lunch break show at 12 p.m., which streams live here on Facebook, on YouTube, WKYC.com, and in our 3 News app. A little preview of some of the things that you're looking towards this weekend. If you're not ready to let go of Halloween, there are still some Halloween events happening today because Halloween was on a Thursday. One of those is called Drag-A-Ween, and that is the first annual event put on by Ohio Burlesque and Cleveland Burlesque. That's happening tonight at the Beachland Ballroom on Waterloo Road. It's going to be headlined by Maxie Glamour from St. Louis, who was featured in Season 3 of the show Dragula. There's a costume contest there tonight, too, and there will be prizes for first, second, and third place. So if you do want to check that out, go in costume so that you can potentially take advantage of those prizes. If you've moved on from Halloween, you can celebrate Dia de Muertos here in Ohio. The 15th annual Dia de Muertos event is happening on Saturday, which is the culmination of the Mexican and Latin American celebration of people who have passed in our lives. It's a free event. It's from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., and there's going to be a lot of fun things there. There will be Latin food, live music, indoor and outdoor art will be on display. And for those of you who are really loving that Christmas music and you are in the holiday spirit, something that you can take advantage of is the Naughty List Escape Room. This is one of those events where you go with family, friends, and you try and figure out a puzzle in order to get yourself out of an escape room. The task at hand here is to move yourself from the naughty list to the nice list on Santa's list. You're actually breaking into Santa's house in this escape room to make that happen. That starts today. That goes through December 31st. It does require a reservation. We have all the links to buy tickets to those events and all the locations and all the detailed information up on WKYC.com. We've got that link for you in the comments so you can check that out. Thank you so much for joining us here on 3 News Now. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, and click the bell so that you get notifications every single time we go live so that we can see you back here every afternoon, Monday through Friday, for the 3 News Now update. And for those of you who are joining us on Facebook, thank you so much for participating in our live stream, weighing in the comments. Make sure you like our page and follow it so that you can get all of the updates. I'm Stephanie Haney. Have a great weekend.